Hello, my name is Thian. We know that drugs are not good for us and are harmful to our body. However, some of us don't know why it's harmful to us and in what aspect too. Therefore, today I'm going to talk about reasons not to use drugs in our lives. First of all is physical addiction. Drugs are physically addictive. The easy way to understand this is to recognize that using drugs causes enormous disruption in the system and biological process of the body, especially in the chemistry of your brain. To cope with this, the body compensates by adjusting its chemistries in terms of hormones, neurotransmitters, and the other substances. Taking drugs out of the equation at this point is like pulling one leg from under a three-leg stool. The result is that the person experiences severely uncomfortable symptoms of withdrawal. A drug addict will, in fact, very often not even feel like himself or herself without using drugs anymore. Second is emotional addiction. People normally start using drugs as a way to solve some type of problem, such as an unhappy home life, stress at work, or social pressure. This doesn't handle the problem, it only masks it. As time goes on, the person becomes more and more dependent on drug as a coping mechanism and a way out. A person reaches a point where he or she has to get high to face an uncomfortable social situation, to perform at work, or even merely to make it through the day. Third is enormous expenses. Drugs are expensive even for casual use, but an addict needs to get high every week, every day, or perhaps even several times per day. The costs of supporting such a habit can be astonishing. Other areas of life will suffer as most of all of the addict's money goes to paying for the next fix, and he or she may start stealing from friends and family or fail to support loved ones. In other cases, the person is liable to resort to criminal activities to keep up the habit or might look for cheaper and more dangerous ways to get high. 4. Degrade your health. Most drugs can easily be recognized as being poisons, a fact that is reflected by the term intoxication, used to refer to the state of being under the influence of drugs. When a person keeps using drugs over a long period, he or she will tend to have a weaker immune system and his or her internal organs and glands won't work well as well. Plus, the person will likely be sick more often. Addicts typically also suffer health problems due to the fact that they don't take as good care of themselves as they should, from neglecting to exercise, to eating a diet heavy in junk food, to staying up for long hours without proper rest. 5. Accidents. A drug addict is far more likely to end up in a car crash or other type of accident that may result in serious or even fatal injuries. Spending so much time under the influence of drugs tend to dull the senses, increase reaction time, and impair judgment whether or not the person is high at the time of the accident. To put it simply, people who use drugs don't see the world around them as brightly and clearly as they should, and for this reason, they are a serious problem to themselves and to the rest of us. 6. Arrest for drug possessions. With the exception of Washington and Colorado, it is illegal to possess drugs in any state. An addict is at risk of being arrested for possession of drugs, and depending on the amount and the type of drugs involved, he or she may be charged with a misdemeanor or felony. Even if the person is able to avoid jail or prison, the arrest and possible conviction can carry consequences, including heavy fines and court-ordered treatment. In addition to a lengthy period on probation and the prospect of having to live into the future with a criminal record. 7. Destroy personal relationships. Drugs change a person, and they do so in many ways. One of these has to do with the fact that the new experiences that the addict has been living through usually change the way that he or she looks at the world. The person changes so much that his or her family and friends may feel like they don't know the person anymore. The loss of trust and of common ground upon which to meet very often means that the addict will become so greatly estranged from his or her family and friends that the relationship is broken down. Finally is overdose. Addicts routinely suffer an overdose, one that is often fatal, because they are constantly looking for a new way to get high, to reclaim the experiences they had used to have when using drugs. This usually means using more and more of the drug, which predictably can result in an overdose. In other cases, they may have been trying a new drug and used more than what might have been even somewhat safe. And there is 8 reasons not to use drugs for you. Thank you.